Hey guys, it's Alyssa from AlyssaNalani.com. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome to the 10th installment of Build a Better Year 2020. This is a series of videos that I've been doing for the past several weeks, talking about all things planning and goal setting and getting geared up for 2020. And if you've missed any of the videos, you can check them all out in the playlist that is linked in the description box and get all caught up. We've talked about brain dumping and mission statements and choosing a word for the year and vision board and setting goals and resolutions and even setting up a self-care survival kit for the year. So if you're interested in any of that and you've missed any of that, then I invite you to check out the playlist, get caught up, and hopefully you'll find some information that is beneficial for you as you are getting ready for the new year. Now, as you saw from the title of today's video, I'm going to be going through my planner stack or planner lineup for 2020. And for those of us in the planner community, this is a really exciting time, and this is a really important subject because we're all kind of putting this together for ourselves, and we're looking at other people's stacks and lineups and trying to figure out what we're going to use for the new year. And I actually didn't think I was going to end up with the stack that I ended up with, but I am satisfied with what I've chosen. And if you watched the last video in this series, when I went over my 2019 year in review, I learned a lot about how I function on paper and what I'm still kind of struggling with in my planner life. And those things that I've learned this year have really informed the decisions that I've made when it comes to what I'm going to use in the upcoming year. And so what I'm going to do in this video is show you the books that I'm going to be using, just give a little blurb about each one, what it is, where I got it, that kind of thing. And then in subsequent videos, I will kind of go through them one by one and show you how I have them set up for the new year. It might be more like a January setup. I'm not completely sure yet how I'm going to work that out, and if I'm even going to show you all of them every month or every quarter or how that's going to go. But I will figure out a way and a rhythm to give you monthly and quarterly updates on how my planner system is working and how I'm doing with it. All right, that's enough of the introduction. Let's go ahead and talk about these planners. All right, one thing I did want to say before I get started, and that is that you will notice that this stack does not include anything that I'm using for my spiritual growth. So faith planner, Bible study journal, prayer binder, any of that kind of stuff, I'm going to do all of that in a separate video. You all know that I do have a tendency to be long-winded, and I didn't want this video to be too long. So I decided to do it in two parts. So stay tuned for that second part in a later video. Now, if you've been following me for a while, or at least through this series, then you will have seen a lot of what I'm about to show you today. This first one is what I consider the foundation of my planner system, and this will not come as a surprise to you at all, and that is my 2020 POWERSHEETS. I am sitting right in front of a window. None of this is going to be true to color. I do apologize. 2020 POWERSHEETS, if you don't know what POWERSHEETS are, you need to check them out. I've talked about them before. They're an awesome resource. This is a tool that you use aside from your planner or planner system, your multiple planners. And it really is the tool that's going to kind of help you stay focused on what you set as priorities and what you deem as important in your life, and help you month by month, week by week, day by day, keep those things in front of you. So what you decide to do in your days and in your weeks and in your month should harmonize with what you have set as goals and priorities at the beginning of the year. They should not be at odds with each other. And if they are at odds with each other, then you have to go back to your goals and say, okay, maybe this shouldn't be a priority. Maybe I need to tweak it. Maybe I need to change it or replace it or whatever. Put it on the back burner for the next month or the next quarter or the next year. Maybe it's just not right for the season. And so this is a tool to kind of help you work through that. There are a lot of prep pages that you do before even setting those goals, and I did do a video about those prep pages, and it's really just a system that, true to Laura Casey's brand, is supposed to help you cultivate what matters. That's the name of her brand, and I think that she gives us a tool that helps us do this in a really beautiful, holistic way. And this is my first time using them. I'm really excited, and I definitely consider this to be the foundational piece for my system this year. All right, this next book is not actually a planner. It's my notebook. But as I've been going through this series, you guys, I started using it at the beginning of the Build a Better Year series, and I've been carrying it around with me, and I figured, let me just make it a part of my system. I do a lot of project planning in here, and because it is dot grid, you guys can't see that, but it is dot grid, I promise, and it is a larger page than some of my other planners, and so it gives me a lot of room to kind of play around. It's also another tool that you can have on hand to help you with like brain dumping. So you just have a notebook where you can just be messy and write things down and not necessarily mess up your planner pages. Or if you have rings or a traveler's notebook, that space in that planner is precious. You can only fit so much in a traveler's notebook or in rings. And so if you want to get the best kind of bang for your space, then doing your brain dumps in a separate book like this might be an option for you. So I've been carrying this around. It is now a part of my planner system, and I really like just having a blank notebook to work through projects and lists and things in. All right, the next planner in my stack is one that I have talked about and shown on the channel a couple of months ago, and it is my Classy Lady Planner. And this is the space. It doesn't function so much as a planner as it does as like a notebook with dividers. And this is the space where I'm keeping track of all things that have to do with like self-care and personal development. So the projects and things that I want to work on in regards to, like for instance, next year I really want to work on refining and simplifying my wardrobe. I want to have a place where I can write down the things, like the products and things that I use for my hair or makeup. Any classes I'm using the Great Courses Plus, and so any notes that I might take on a course that I'm taking can go in here. That's personal development, things like that. They don't really have a space anywhere else. I don't necessarily want things like that to get lost in the pages of a journal where I have to kind of look for it later on, but it's all in one place. And so this is where what I'm hoping to pursue in being a classy lady, because classy is my word of the year, that's where this happens. Or I'm sorry, this is where that happens. And so all things classy in this place, and I don't have it fully put together yet. Like I had it set up earlier. I do need to make some changes to it, and it's not done yet. But let me just give you this pro tip. If you're putting together your planner system and you feel the need and the pressure to have it done by January 1st, like that's a reasonable pressure potentially. Like, you kind of have a deadline to meet, but don't feel so pressured that it stresses you out. This isn't going to get finished by January 1st. I already know it because I don't have the time. This isn't a priority right now, but I would like to get it in a good working function sometime in January. So you're probably not going to see much of this for the next several weeks, but it is part of my stack, and I do plan on working on it as I can. So just wanted to throw that in there. If you're putting together a system that has multiple planners, don't feel too pressured to get it all done and perfect by January 1st, because that probably, I'm just going to presume to assume that that's not a realistic pressure that you should be putting on yourself. All right, now let's get into the kind of everyday aspect of planning, literally. This year I decided to get a daily planner. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you might remember that daily planning is something that I've kind of pushed back on for a while. There are times where I'm like, oh, I don't need days. Sorry, I'm adjusting here. Ooh, Lord, my leg. I don't need days. Or I do need days, but I only need it some part of the time, or I'll just have blank ones so I can use them as I need, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I have come to the conclusion that not only do I need days, I need dated days. And I need days that have some timestamps on them. Because y'all, I stink at time management, and I need to be better at time management, and I need to be honest about those needs. And so, after much searching and being comfortable in my assertions about myself, I decided to go with the Simplified Planner. Ooh, there we go. The Simplified Planner by Emily Lay. She has a weekly and a daily version of her planner. And it's very basic, so basic, but I love the construction of her planner. I love the paper that she uses. I love the cover. I like the colors. It's just a really nice product. But what's inside is actually really, really simple. And you can find this in many forms. So you have a month on 2-page spread. Really basic, right? And then you have your dailies. So each day has a whole entire page. You have on this side, it says my day at the top, and then it has 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. here. And then you have a to-do list with the check bubbles, and then you have a space down here for notes. And that's it. And then on the weekends, your Saturday and Sundays, share a day, okay? So Saturday up here, Sunday down here. And it's super simple. It's a beautiful planner. The colors are bright and bold, but it's still very simple and elegant, which is what I like. And the reason why I decided to go this route is because in my last video, I talked about how I have a hard time archiving inserts. Y'all, it's just a thing. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know why. It's just something I struggle with. I'm not good at it. And that was causing me to lose things, because if I didn't archive it well, that means I didn't have a system where I could just go back and look at past insert pages and information that I had written down. And so I said, enough is enough. I'm just gonna have all my days in one space, period. I'm not gonna use rings for my daily. I'm not gonna use a traveler's notebook for my dailies. I need to have it all together the entire year so I can just flip back to whatever day I need to get whatever information I need. And the record is all together. And this is my first time trying it. We'll see how it goes, but it made sense in my head based on the needs that I realized were real for me. And this is the route that I chose to go in. So dailies all in one space, and I really think I'm gonna like it. All right, next in the stack is a planner that is very near and dear to my heart because I made it myself, and it is the Reading Life Planner. Now, it's not this cover. This is a Martha Stewart customizable notebook, and inside, I have it backwards, guys. Inside, I'm housing my half-size Reading Life Planner, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It is supposed to be for my reading life. So anything related to books and reading goes in here. It has lists that you can fill in. It has calendar pages, notes pages, book review pages, anything that you might need to keep track of your reading. This year has been a good reading year in regards to quantity. I set a goal for myself to read 50 books. I don't think I'm going to reach 50, but I'm in the 40s right now, and so that's actually closer than what I got last year. Quantity has been great. Quality, not so much. And if you're a bookworm out there, then you know that you really have to be intentional about making space and time for reading. And while I had really great intentions for 2019, it just didn't happen. So I really hope to use this better than I did this past year, and use it to keep track of and encourage me to be more intentional about quality reading, not just quantity. I still want to read 50 books in 2020, but I do want to read better than what I did this year. So we'll see how that goes. But if you want a copy of this planner, you want to check it out, there's a video of the flip through of the planner, and then there's a link to my shop where you can get a copy of it for yourself if it's something you're interested in. All right, next we have my journal. So I think that every planner girl needs a journal, a place to write her thoughts, to write lists if she wants to kind of write anything down. Not so much like the dot grid notebook that I had. That's more for just like scribbling notes and planning projects and things like this. I do treat a journal more in a diary form. So I do write about my day, and I do write my thoughts and my frustrations and sometimes prayers and things like that. And what I've been using for that lately is my Stalogy. This is the Stalogy notebook that I got for One Book July, and I've loved it ever since. So it's got a grid on it. It's a very thin paper, and I'll have a link to it down below if you want to check it out. But I did try using it as a planner for One Book July, and it worked well. But I'm a multiple planner girl at heart, so I can't do everything in one book. As much as I like the idea of it, I just really enjoy using multiple planners. But I did really enjoy using this as a journal. So once I'm done with this one, I think I think I'll be done with it by the end of the year. It shouldn't roll into January, but I'll be getting a new one for 2020. I'll see how long it takes me to fill. I would like to say that I'll need 2 of them for an entire year, one for the first half and one for the second, but we'll see. But I really do like having the Stalogy as a journal. This is a cover that I got at Walmart. I have 2 of them. I don't know if they're still available. They were out during back to school. So I have this gray one and I have a black one. And it comes with, just for anybody who wants to know, it comes with 2 strings there because it comes with 2 Traveler's Notebook inserts. So I have them, I don't really use them, but it's inexpensive enough that it's worth just having it for the cover. It's a pretty neat cover. It's really, really inexpensive, and it's held up pretty well too. So anyway, that's my journal for the year. All right, so we talked about my daily planning, but what about my weeks? If you know me, you know that I do need months, weeks, and days. And so for my weekly planner, I decided to use this really inexpensive day designer from Walmart. So both Simplified, Emily Lay Simplified, and Day Designer have a less expensive or cheaper line at Walmart that you can get. It might even be available at Target, but I'm not completely sure. And or Staples, and or Office Max. Anyway, they have a cheaper line that you can get at least at Walmart. I know for sure. And so this Day Designer is a weekly planner. And it has your month on 2 pages, right? And then it has your week on 2 pages, okay? So at the top, you can put your top 3 most important things, and then you have your days. Let's see if I can show you this. So, I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, on this side, it just has lines, right, to write whatever you want. And on this side, it has a designated to-do list. And that's kind of like how the Simplified is without the time blocks. That's in the dailies. It doesn't have time blocks in here. So anyway, I do plan on doing every week. This is a part of the discipline that I've been struggling with, but my plan is to every week have a planning session, like on a Sunday or Saturday night even, or something like that, and plan the following week and go through my power sheets and say, okay, this is what I have for the month, this is what's important, this is what I need to keep track of, translating some of that information into my weeks so I know what my week looks like, and then translating that information into my days so I know what my days look like. And the reason why, in case you're wondering, the reason why I need all 3 in this fashion is because I need to have that weekly view so I can see a broad view. I need to have that even broader view of my months, but on a day-to-day level, okay? Again, I'm just gonna keep repeating this because for myself, I need that reinforcement every day. Every hour, every half hour has a purpose. Let's not waste that purpose. Even if I schedule some time to watch TV, that's fine, right? But it has a purpose. And let me be on top of that purpose. Let me be on top of gathering information and putting it in a place. So I say that to say, like, if you're on a phone call, you can use that notes pages on your daily page to jot down a note from that phone call. There it is, right? It's there. This is your day on a page, functioning on a page. And you might not need that the way I do. When I was working full-time, I wouldn't have considered it like this. But since I'm not, my life is different than it used to be. I need that whole day to have its space and really think about what is my day looking like? What am I doing with that day, with each hour, with my to-dos? Knowing what my week looks like. Am I using that day to fulfill what needs to be done during that week? I hope that's making sense. I hope you're understanding the importance of really being in charge of the time that you have as best as you can. And so week, days, and then both of them have months. And I can decide if I want to put the same appointments at each one or whatever. I haven't really figured that out yet. The other thing I like about this is it's compact. So this is going to be the everyday carry. I don't necessarily need my dailies with me all the time, necessarily, right? But I do need that kind of, broader view for my weeks. So this goes in my purse along with, depending on what I'm carrying, along with my journal. So these two things together, and then sometimes that dot grid notebook from Walmart goes with me too. So depending on what I'm carrying, depending on where I'm going, I have at least this and then one of those two or all three. All right, guys, we're down to the last two in this stack. And the next one is what I'm using for blog and YouTube right now. And it's this, another inexpensive Walmart planner. The brand was Pen and Gear. And if I remember correctly, this is how a Hobonichi is set up. I never had a Hobonichi, like a Hobonichi Weeks. I had to specify that. But I've seen a lot of Hobonichi Weeks videos, and if I remember correctly, this is similar. So you have a week on 2-page spread, right? This is where my editorial calendar goes. So I can plot out, okay, this is where, you know, these are the blog posts I want to do, these are the videos I want to do. And then if I need to make changes, I can cross things out and reposition them. And then you have a week on a page, and then dot grid. And what I do, I can even show you. So this is this week. And I have what I need to film and when I need to post. And then I have notes on whatever I'm working on this week, right? And so far it's been working pretty well. I like the format of it. Oh yeah, actually, here's what really sold me on this. So where this tab is, this separates the planner into two parts. So the rest of this is just dot grid. So I can just write notes on what I want to work on. That Seasons of Planning video that I did at the beginning of the week, I had the prompts in here. So I can just write down prompts, I can write down outlines, I can write down notes, lists of videos that I want to do. Usually what I try to do at the middle of every month is write down the list of videos that I want to do the following month. So that information would go in here as well. This is also nice because it's compact. I can take it with me and do work things when I'm on the go. Now, last year I did have a setup in my A5 Filofax Malden. And that had more information in it when it came to the blog and the channel. And I intend to keep that, but that's more like information about like the branding and information on categories of things. So my blog has different categories, and if I want to keep lists of the kinds of things that I want to talk about and you know, future plans and like technical website stuff, all that goes in that planner, and that doesn't have to go with me all the time. This is compact enough that I can do work and plan content in a small way in here and have like my content calendar with me at all times. Now you could say, well, I could keep that on my phone or whatever, and that's true, but I really like having it on paper, guys. I appreciate digital. I like Google Calendar and things like that. I use Evernote to take notes and things, but really just having it on paper and being able to see it like that really just helps me, and so that's what I like. So that is the small version of the bigger sort of setup that I have for the blog and for YouTube. And I'm just gonna see how it works and see how I like it. So far, so good. I like it, and it's working. All right, last but not least in my stack is a home base binder or a home management binder. Now, I kept one of these the first year of my marriage, sort of in my second year. I kind of had one, kind of didn't. I was really wishy-washy about it. This year, I didn't really keep one at all. And I regret it, but it's actually, it takes discipline to do that. And so I was just not disciplined in doing that. Now that we've moved from our travel trailer this past spring into a house, I really want to be better at this. And if you watched my POWERSHEETS prep work video where I set out my goals for 2020, then you know that cultivating a life-giving home is one of my goals for the year. And in order to facilitate that, I decided I needed a binder. So this is just a 3-ring binder that I've had on my shelf for a while. And what's really cool about how I'm setting it up this time, it's not fully set up yet, but Laura Casey of POWERSHEETS, of Cultivate What Matters, she has a whole resource library of what she calls wildcards. Now, you used to be able to, before they sold out a little bit ago, you used to be able to buy a pack of wild cards. And these were like planner pages that you could stick in your power sheets that, obviously weren't a part of the book itself. And things like a perpetual calendar, meal planning, meal prepping, goal pages, let's see what else, self-care, fitness, grocery lists, things like that. So what I did was I saved all of those wildcard pages in a folder and printed a bunch of different ones out, and I'm gonna hold them in this binder. That's gonna be part of the binder setup. And when I get this all finished, I'll show you what it looks like. But I am using her wildcard pages to use in here. And so this will hold things like perpetual calendars, so I can keep up with birth dates and anniversary, meal prepping, grocery lists, those kinds of things, meal planning, I should say. Important contact information, projects that me and my husband want to work on, finances, all those kinds of things that have to do with cultivating a healthy home, chore lists and all that kind of stuff. All of that will be in here. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to stay in this particular binder, but for now I like this. We'll see how it works. Depending on how I use it throughout the house, if I need it to stay in the kitchen, if it's going to be in my office, whatever. How I plan to use it will determine whether or not it stays in here. But this is what I have it in so far, and I know I'm going to have a home management or home base binder book setup of some kind. This is just what it looks like right now. All right, guys, I have 9 books here all together. I didn't think I was going to have this many, but I'm satisfied with what I have. And I look forward to working in each one of these books, and I hope that my assessment of my needs was correct, and that I won't have to change too much, maybe just tweak a few things here and there. If you have any questions about any of these, please do feel free to ask in the comments below. However, make sure that you check out the description box, because whatever I can find online, I will link below. Definitely POWERSHEETS, definitely Emily Lay's Simplified Planner, definitely my Reading Life Planner from my shop, Happy Planner, and Happy Planner I know I can find, the Martha Stewart customizable notebook, both of those I can find on Amazon, so you'll find those links. Astrology notebook on Amazon, so definitely check that out. And you'll also find the links to the videos for any of the setups or unboxings that I have already done. So check out the description box and then ask if I missed anything. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been beneficial and that you got ideas and inspiration as you put together your own planner stack or system, or if you're just using one book, that's fine too. We all work differently. The point is to use a system that works for you and your needs. If it's one book, if it's 20 books, make sure that you're not stressed, overwhelmed, or feel like you're not adequately supported or set up. You need something that's going to support you, that's going to help you get things done, but at the same time not overwhelm you or add more stress to you. So if you have any questions, like I said, leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you all in the next video. Have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.